We have a very special guest today who has many friends in this chamber audience. As the Business Development Bank of Canada's first woman CEO, Isabelle Hudon brings a deep business background and a clear vision for an inclusive economy to support growth for Canadian entrepreneurs. She's a champion of diversity, of gender equality, and of the green economy, leading BDC's 2,500-person team in their efforts to help Canadian entrepreneurs grow resilient, sustainable businesses. From 2017 to 2021, Ms. Hudon served as Ambassador of Canada to France and Monaco, and the personal representative of the Prime Minister of Canada for La Francophonie. Previously, she was President and CEO for Quebec and Senior Vice President of Sun Life Financial Canada, overseeing impressive growth across all business lines. Now, most importantly for those of us here today, she also served as President and CEO of La Chambre de Commerce de Montréal Métropolitain from 2005 to 2008. She's held seats on numerous boards of directors, including those of Hydro-Québec, Groupe Marcel, Holt Renfrew, and the Canada Council for the Arts. And she's a co-founder of the A-Effect program to empower ambitious women. Ms. Hudon received the Medal of the National Assembly of Quebec for her commitment to women's ambition, the Queen Elizabeth II Diamond Jubilee Medal for raising awareness of culture in Canada, and was awarded an honorary degree of Doctor of Law from Concordia University in 2017. Isabelle, welcome, and thank you for joining us for our AGM.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Barry. And I guess to the list of experiences that I had and privilege also, I have to say to all people watching that I had the great privilege of watching the Honorable Perrin Beatty when he was a minister. And I remember, like, I started my career on the Hill, and I have very good memories of watching you, Perrin, when in office and serving as a minister.
You are kind, but that makes you much older than I thought you.
Yeah, I'm not 35 anymore.
Me neither. Now, Isabelle, you just took up your responsibilities at BDC quite recently. And of course, each CEO sets his or her own priorities. What are your priorities at BDC?
Well, my first priority, Perrin, is first and foremost to make sure that what we do, we continue doing, especially coming out of the pandemic. We don't want to disrupt what we do good, but we wish to do better and more. And we are now, we've embarked into a review of what and how should we define our impact, and especially within the Canadian economy, but specifically to work alongside with the SME ecosystem. So should we keep on defining our impact only through the financial results, or we should include other KPIs? So I'm not saying that now we're only looking at through the financial results, but I do believe that we need to refresh our purpose statement, and we need to see what's coming forward and onward, make sure that we keep on being highly relevant for our Canadian entrepreneurs. So we should, by the end of this year, Perrin, I will probably be able to share a little bit more with you, and why not at the beginning of 2022, maybe share a little bit more with your members.
We'll look forward to that. We'll look forward to having you back to have that discussion. Just in looking at the mandate of BDC, how does it contrast with and complement the role of other lenders in the whole field of providing services to business?
Well, you've used the right word, complement. I think that BDC has been very good at working with the banks and make sure that we are partnering and offering sets of products and support to entrepreneurs. We're not there to take over the banks, and we're there to make sure that we answer all needs of entrepreneurs, and that we look with banks what entrepreneur needs more and better, and try to bring to the table what is not there and should be a responsibility of the government, of the Canadian government. I think that we have a few challenges around the partnership, Perrin. It's something that we need to keep evolving. It is also something that we need to have many leaders to talk about and better understand. In some provinces, we're doing better than others. You would probably know that we have a strong brand in Quebec and Ontario, but we need to do more in the Atlantic and also out west and in BC. So we'll need to fine tune our storytelling, and also we'll need to work on our partnerships with the banks and other financial institutions.
Let's explore for a minute some of the ways in which BDC under your leadership can contribute to the business community. What we want to do is to do the interview a little bit differently. What we've done is to ask 3 different business leaders from across Canada to ask you their questions, starting off with Charles Wong, who's the founder and president of CarePros.
Hello, my name is Charles Wong, founder and president of CarePros and a proud member of the Leduc Regional Chamber of Commerce. CarePros guides children and youth to achieve personal success by nurturing their physical, social, cultural, and emotional well-being. As a young entrepreneur, I believe it is critical to run a social enterprise that leaves a lasting impact on the communities we serve. CarePros provides care for many Indigenous children and youth and proudly supports the 92 calls to action made by the Truth and Reconciliation Commission of Canada. How is the BDC going to support culturally responsive businesses like CarePros to develop capacity and competency in hiring and supporting the Indigenous people of Canada?
Thank you. Thank you very much for this question. As I just mentioned, at BDC, we want to continue to do better and to do more. And in the more element, I do think that we need to address some underserved clientele and to better serve those underserved clientele. And the 3 that comes to my mind is woman entrepreneur, Indigenous entrepreneur, and entrepreneur from Black communities. To do that, we have to pause a little bit and even maybe take a step back, educate ourselves, learn about the reality of those communities and those underserved clientele, train our people, and also bring into our workforce representatives of those underserved clienteles, because the worst thing that we could do is believe that we own the truth and that we know how to do it. And I think that we will also have to adapt our go-to-market approach, because we should not address those clientele the same way in the same old style. So we have to learn, adapt, and adopt new way of doing things, and we need to be there. I've just mentioned the importance of partnering with banks and other financial institutions, and to recognize where BDC can take a role and play a role. Well, I do think that especially with those underserved clienteles, there's a real role, not only for BDC, but also for other financial institutions to take more and to do more and do better. But back to the question, I would say I have a recommendation. So to bring Indigenous people on board your workforce, you can work with 2 organizations in Canada that can help you find talent and talented people that would be more than willing to join your organization and be part of your organization. The first organization is Indigenous Works and the Canadian Council for Aboriginal Business. Both of those organizations we've worked with, and they could be great advice for any Canadian businesses that has the curiosity and the willingness to do better on that front.
Great, thank you. The second question is from Monsieur Régent Cahouette, who's the owner-operator of Hydro-Coupe CRC Limité. He's president of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Sherbrooke.
Bonjour, Madame Hudon. Mon nom est Régent Cahouette. Je suis le propriétaire de la compagnie Hydro-Coupe CRC Limité à Sherbrooke et je suis président de la Chambre de commerce et industrie de Sherbrooke. J'aurais une question pour vous. Les propriétaires de petites entreprises sont débordés même dans les meilleurs jours, qu'il s'agisse de verser les salaires, d'exécuter une stratégie de marketing, de naviguer dans l'ARC, de gérer les employés et de trouver de nouveaux employés. La plupart n'ont pas le temps de penser à la durabilité. Quelles sont les mesures pratiques que les propriétaires de petites entreprises peuvent prendre pour jouer leur rôle dans la lutte contre le changement climatique?
Très, très bonne question, monsieur Cahouette, parce que ce qu'on a pu voir dans les 18 derniers mois, ce passage de pandémie nous a fait réfléchir, mais aussi les Canadiens et un peu partout sur la planète, mais parlons des Canadiens et des Canadiennes, sont maintenant non négociables sur les actions ambitieuses requises pour diminuer notre empreinte sur la planète et réellement agir en faveur du climat. Et aussi, à titre d'employeur, il faut réaliser que ce sera de plus en plus un facteur de rétention de nos employés. Les organisations qui démontreront de plus en plus, pas nécessairement patte blanche, mais qui démontreront de plus en plus de leadership à agir en faveur du climat, auront, d'après moi, une plus grande facilité à retenir leurs talents. Maintenant, où on peut vous aider et comment on peut vous aider à la BDC, il y a différentes façons. Nous avons notre équipe de service conseil qui est là pour vous appuyer, vous conseiller sur un plan de match pour bien structurer votre plan d'intervention et aussi pour bien livrer sur ce plan d'intervention. Il y a un outil intéressant que vous pouvez utiliser sur notre site internet bdc.ca qui vous aide à comprendre et à quantifier l'empreinte que vous avez actuellement sur la planète parce qu'il n'y a rien comme de comprendre et d'apprécier votre point de départ et les améliorations que vous devez faire pour agir en faveur de la planète. Donc, je vous donne rendez-vous sur notre site bdc.ca et également en faisant appel à notre équipe du service conseil BDC.
Merci. Our third question is from Courtney Hance. Ms. Hance is a founder and chief creative officer of the branding firm Incorporated, and she's a member of the London Chamber of Commerce.
Hello, my name is Courtney Hance, and I am the founder and chief creative officer of the branding firm Inc., a proud and active member of the London Chamber of Commerce. Today, my question for Ms. Hudon is, as BDC's first female CEO and a champion for diversity and equality, what is your vision for an inclusive economy in Canada, and how will BDC play a role in ensuring traditionally underserved communities receive the support they need to become successful entrepreneurs?
Well, very good question, and a question dear to my heart and a priority dear to my heart. We need to do better with underserved clientele, as I mentioned, and especially for women, Black communities, and Indigenous. We need to think it through. We need to quantify the market for those three clienteles. We have to also, one, be curious, speak with those markets and get their point of views on what we should do differently. Because Perrin, one thing that I'm convinced, and I thought myself I had no BS of any kind, and I would invite anyone to do the online test from Harvard. It's available online, and we all have BAs, good or less good. And I'm pretty sure that we think that we know how to address, how to reach, and how to better answer the needs of those underserved clientele. But I'm also convinced that there's few details missing in our recipe to outreach the people that we want to reach and to answer their real needs. I'll give you an example, Perrin. Women are very good at replicating what they see. Well, they don't see enough role models of women entrepreneur being confident and asking for help and asking for money to grow their business. We need to bring forward examples and roles that will inspire other future or actual women entrepreneur to knock on our doors, BDC or the banks or other financial institution, to ask for money and to grow their business. The same thing for Indigenous and Black communities, with the exception, Perrin, that with Indigenous and Black communities, we have to understand how they are organized between themselves so that we can work with local organizations on the ground so that we are a little bit more effective and a little bit more aligned to their expectations. It's my top priority. Well, I have many priorities, but underserved clienteles are for us a top priority because we do believe that it's a role of the Canadian government to help those clientele to be more assertive, better financed, so that they can grow and scale their companies so that we all win at the end of the day. And Canada will be the real winner at the end of the day.
Isabelle, thank you. You've got a lot on your plate, but it's obvious that you've hit the ground running and that you have key priorities that will allow you to be able to serve Canada's business community. We're delighted to have you here, and we are delighted to welcome you back home to the Canadian Chamber community. We look forward to working with you as you provide your important services to the Canadian entrepreneurs right from coast to coast to coast.